Good evening, Mayor, Council. Ken Peterson, a 19-year Yorba Linda resident. Incompetence, violation of public trust, arrogance. And I'm speaking of the public hearing with regards to the Tesoro Development Project. That evening, Council heard resident after resident come forward. And they made objections to this development. 3 things were repeated time and time again. The building was too tall. 3 stories is too tall for that area. The parking was inadequate and that the traffic control was inadequate. Time and time again, the residents raised their objections to council to be heard. Well, public comments was closed, went back to council. Then there was this discussion. And then something very interesting occurred. We had Councilman Lindsey explain that he had carefully reviewed all of the information, that he comes to this meeting with an open mind, having not made any predetermination as to any of these factors, and then he made a motion to approve that project as presented by staff with no amendments, no changes whatsoever. So all of the discussion by all of the residents was for naught. His motion was to approve it as it was. And then we had Councilman Anderson. He indicated, did you understand that there was no affordable housing element at all in that? And then something amazing and most interesting occurred. And that's when Councilman Lindsey said, oh, I didn't know that. You know, it would have been comical if it hadn't been such an important issue on a project that had a value of upwards of $50 million that adversely affected thousands of Yorba Linda residents. If that had been an attorney, it would have been an accountant or a financial advisor or anyone tasked with doing something properly, they would have been fired on the spot. We're talking about gross incompetence as to understanding what you're putting forward as a representation as this is what should be done. Well, I have a flyer that's been mailed out to a number of residents. I suspect most of these council members have seen this, but I'm going to give a copy. I want to make sure that there's a public record of this. Now, this is put out by one of the special interest groups that support Councilman Lindsey and Mayor Young. Now, on the second page, I've highlighted it. Here's what it says. It's got a big check beside it. Through skilled negotiation, Young and Lindsey significantly downsized the scope of the Tesoro Townhome project on Prospect from a possible 165 units to 80 units. Did you get that? A skilled negotiation of the deal before it came to public hearing? That's what this is saying. And you know what? Before tonight, I haven't heard any disclaimers from either Young or Lindsey that this is false, that this did not occur. We may hear them after tonight, but up until now, there weren't any of those disclaimers. All of the people who came to that meeting, residents who came up to this podium, did so with the belief that their voice would be heard and listened to and acted upon. But when you see a project that was presented to council that was essentially rubber stamped, and when you see this sort of thing going around, that this was due to skilled negotiations that the deal was done, then you understand. This is power brokers behind closed doors. This is a situation where the public shut out. The deal was done. And when you're coming to a meeting, why bother? Okay. Gross incompetence on behalf of Tom Lindsey, a violation of public trust on behalf of Tom Lindsey and Craig Young, and absolute arrogance on behalf of both of them. For that reason, I'm asking for their resignation. Thank you.